चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम् So the last question was Yadi tatsat jagato moolam kasman nopalabhyate iti. If that Sat or Brahman is Jagataha Moolam, Moolam the very cause, the root or the self of the Jagat, the universe, which means that it is also the Moolam, the cause of this body also including that included in the Jagat. Kasman nopalabhyate. How come we do not perceive that? It is there, we don't perceive. I said yesterday, for example, clay is the material cause of the pot, we perceive that. So we can determine that clay is the material cause of the pot, but how come we don't perceive Sat, even though it is there? Iti tad drishtantena ma bhagavan bhuveva vijñāpayatu iti. And so the reviewer sir may please explain to me with a drishtanta illustration. And to this the Tikakar also said, Yadi jagato moolam vatadhanagata vatabījavat sat tari tadvadeva sarvahi upalabhyet. If the moolam, the cause of the jagat was vatadhanagata vatabījavat, like the seed of a banyan tree which is contained in the vatadhana, in those small little, particles or seeds, grains, small little grains in the. So apparently here it is said that in the grain also there is a seed of the or the cause of the entire vata. The cause of the entire banyan tree is within that grain, small atomic grain, which is found in the fruit of the banyan tree. It's there but we don't see it. Yadi duragamatvat nopalabhyate. You may say that it is extremely difficult to comprehend. Therefore, you do not perceive that. You do not comprehend, see it. Tarhi mumukshoho sadjnana bhavat mokshanupatti. Then mumukshu cannot know that Sat, and therefore moksha would not be possible. That is one question or doubt. Yadi duragamasyapi upayantara jnanam sambhavati. That even though Sat or Brahman is duragamanam, it is extremely difficult to comprehend, still upayantarena jnanam sambhavati. It is by some other means. So it cannot be perceived, all right? So Sat is there, but we cannot perceive that with our sense organs. Is there any other means of knowledge? Means of knowledge other than this perception by which we can know Sat? If so, then please tell me what is that other means of knowledge? Bodhaya etad. So, apparently the next passage resolves these two questions. And therefore, an experiment was carried out. Father said, Lavanam etad udake avadhaya. The father presented a lump of salt to the son and said, take this lump of salt and place it in water. Athama prataha upasidathaha. And next morning, tomorrow morning, may you approach me, come to me. So, etad ghatadau udake avadhaya. In a container like a pot, put this, drop this. Prakshipya mam swaha pataha prata upasida upagachethaha. Tomorrow morning, please come to me. Saha pitra uktamartham pratyakshīkartumichan. The son did exactly what the father asked him to do. Why did the son do that? Pitra uktam pratyakshi uktamartham pratyakshīkartumichan. The son was desirous of comprehending immediately what the father in fact wanted to convey. Tatha chakara. The son did exactly what the father said. Tam hovacha. To the son who had thus come, the father said, Yal lavanam dosha ratrau udake avadhaha. Hey Shvetaketu, the lump of salt which you had put in water last night. Anga hevatsa tat ahara. You do not say please bring that lump of salt which you placed last night in water. Ityukta tallavanam ajihirshu. Shvetaketu, who was desirous of presenting or bringing or retrieving the lump of salt from water. Ha means kila avamrushya. He searched for that lump of salt in water. Udake na viveda. But then could not find it in water. Na vijñātavan yatha tallavanam vidyamanameva sat apsulinam samsristam abhūt. So yatha tallavanam. How that salt was vidyamanameva sat. Even though the salt was very much present in water, apsulinam, because it was dissolved in water. How do they say it is dissolved? How do they say it is gone? Maybe you don't see it, therefore there is no more salt. Says no, samslishtam abhūt. when the lump of salt was dropped in water the previous night, the lump of salt stood separate from water. But over the night, when it got dissolved, then they were no more separate. They were mixed up. Alright? Then the father wanted a son to experience, see for himself directly that the salt is very much present in the water. Yatha vililam lavanam navetha. Yatha means yadyapi, that's what it means. Yadyapi pindarupam lavanam udake kshiptam. Even the lump of salt which you had dropped in that water, avmrishyapi chakshusparshanabhyam natvam vetha. So Shvetaketu tried to see that lump of salt with his eyes, or he searched for it in the water with the organ of touch. Chakshusparshanabhyam natvam vetha. Hey Shvetaketu, even though you are not able to experience that salt with the eyes and the sense of touch, tathapi tat tatra vidyateva. But still, that salt is very much there in water. Yataha tabhyam agruhyamanamapi. Because even though you cannot perceive that salt with the sense of sight and sense of touch, tatra upayantarana upalabhyate iti. Veshvediketu, there is other method by which you can perceive or experience that salt. Edamartham pratyayatam. This is what the father wanted the son to see. So Bhashyakara says, yatha vilinam lavanam navetha. Tathapi. So yatha is interpreted yadyapi and tathapi. Tachakshusha sparshanena cha pindarupam agruhyamanam vidyateva. Apsu upalabhyate cha upayantarana. With other means you can definitely see it. So father said, Anga antat achamayati. He Anga, he Vatsa, O my son, may you taste that water from the top. Upari gruhitva achamayuktva suputram tatha krutavantam. The son did exactly what the father told him to do. He tasted or sipped the water from the top. Either aha, so then vacha katham iti. Father asked him, hey, what's the taste? Lavanam iti. So Bhashyakara swadutaha. He does not see salt, but lavanam swadutaha. By taste, it is salt. Salty. Tatha madhyat. Similarly, may you sip some water from the middle, sip some water from the bottom. Each time father asked him, how does it taste? Lavanam. It is salty. It is salty. Then, now Bhashyakara says further in the 14th line, यदि एवं अभिप्रास्य परित्यज्य एतदुदकम् आचम्य अथमा उपसीदथाः इति तद्ध तथा चकार लवणं परित्यज्य पितृसमीपम् आजगाम इत्यर्थः. यदि एवं हे Shvetaketu, if this is so, meaning that you are able to taste salt in the water, that means now the experiment is over. So Shvetaketu has been made to experience or see or perceive. This is also perception. Taste also is perception. So Shvetaketu directly wanted to perceive or experience what the father wanted to communicate, which Shvetaketu did. He directly perceived the presence of salt with the organ of taste. So experiment is over. Yadi evam. Thus if you see the presence of salt in the water, aviprasya parityajya etat udakam, then throw away that water. Achamya. No. Yes, achamya. Now you achamaniyam. You wash your mouth now. So the Tikakara says, Achamyedi, last line, Anyatha tasya ashuddhatve vakshimanopadesha anarhatvadi bhavaha. This is Bhashyakara adds here, that father asked him to wash his mouth because he had tasted the salt in his mouth, therefore the mouth was impure and therefore the mouth must be purified by rinsing. Vakshmanopadesha anarhatvat. Otherwise, with an impure mouth, Shvetaketu is not fit to receive the teaching that is subsequently imparted. So then, in a way, teacher implied that may you wash your mouth and then come to me. Athama upasidhaha iti tadda tatha chakara. Shvetaketu did exactly what the father told him to do, meaning lavanam parityajya. So Tika says lavanodakam parityajya iti. Discarding the salt meaning discarding the salty water. Pitru samipam ajagama. Shvetaketu then, so that experiment being over now is ready to receive the further teaching. So what does the experiment imply? Drishtanta is clear. What is the Ashtanta? What is illustrated? To listen to that, Shvetaketu came before the father. Idam vachanam bruvan tallavanam tasminneva udake yanmaya ratrau kshiptam shashvata nityam samvartate vidyamanameva sat samyak vartate. Idam vachanam bruvan. So this Tashasva samvartate, the passage says. Bhashyakara says that is the statement of the son. Idam vachanam bruvan. While saying these words, he approached the father. So tat shashvat samvartate. What is tat? Tat lavanam samvartate vidyamanameva sat samyak samvartate samyak vartate. It is very well there. Vidyamanam sat, being very much present, it is very much there in water. Where tasmin eva udake yanmaya ratrau kshiptam. Same water in which I dropped that lump of salt the previous night, that is where the salt is always a shashvat, nityam samvardate. Is there all the time. Nityam means what? Even when I do not see it, even when I cannot touch it, then it also is there. And that's the reason why Shvetaketu says that I could see or I could experience the presence of salt by tasting, because it was very much there. Vidyamanameva sat samyak vartate, being very much present there, exists there. So Anandagiri samvartate iti idam vachanam bruvan ajagamati sambandha. Saying these words, so the son approached the father. All the Tika says on the page 277, idam vachanam tashatsvas samvartate vachanam Bruvan ajagama. Okay. Idam vachanam means what? Tas satsvas samvartai. Iti vachanam bruvan ajagama. Okay. Same thing. Tadeva vachanam vyachaste tad lavanam. Same vachanam we explained. Tad lavanam. That salt, tasmine udake, so which I had dropped in the water, is very much there. Drishtanta anudya dashtantikam aha. Bhashyakara reiterating Drishtanta, the illustration, dashtantam aha, says what is illustrated, said what is illustrated. Iti evam uktavantam ityadi, so Bhashyakara says, इत्येवम् उक्तवन्तम् तं होवाच पिता यथा इदं लवणं दर्शनस्पर्शनाभ्याम् पूर्वं गृहीतं पुनः उदके विलीनं ताभ्याम् अगृह्यमाणमपि विद्यते एव उपायान्तरेण जिह्वया उपलभ्यमानत्वात्. This is the anuvada of the Drishtanta. Bhashyakara reiterates the Drishtanta in this verse. Yatha, so iti evam uktavantam tam hovacha pita. Son was thus saying that salt which I dropped in water last night is very much there in water. All the time it is there. Even when I could not experience it, it was very much there. To son who had said such, was saying this, father said, so now this Drishtanta is anuvada, reiterated. Yatha idam lavanam. So what do we learn from Drishtanta or this illustration or experiment? Yatha idam lavanam darshana sprashanabhyam purvam gruhitam. So this lavanam, this salt, when it was in the form of a lump, at that time it could be perceived, it was seen by the eyes and touched by the sense of touch. It was in his hand. Purvam gruhitam puna udake vilinam. But when it was dropped in water, became dissolved in water. Tabhyam agruhyamanamapi. Being dissolved in water, it is no more available for sight or for touch. Agruhyamanam. Tathapi vidyateva. So point is that this lavanam of the salt cannot be perceived by one or means of knowledge or two means of knowledge such as sight and touch. Tathapi vidyateva upayantarena jihvaya upalabhyamanatvat. So father demonstrated how what is existing can be also perceived or known upayantarena by another upaya, by other means, in this case by the sense of taste. Then Bhashyakara continues. Evameva atraiva asminneva tejo bannadikarye shunge dehe vavakila iti acharyopadesha smrana pradarsanartham sat tejo bannadi shunga karanam vata-bija animavat vidyamanam eva indriyaihi na upalabhase na nibhalayase. Even like that salt, Sat, or which is the very cause of the universe, is very much present here. So atraiva, the text says, atrabhava kila sat somya na nibhalayase. He is somya, oh good looking one. That sat which is here, na nibhalayase. You do not see it, you do not perceive that. Bhashyakara says, what does it mean? Atra means here. Here means what? Asmin eva dehe. In this body, that Sat is very much there. In what form is it there? Tejo bannadi karye shunge dehe. What is this deha of the body? Body's karyam is a product of the three elements. Teja, up, annam. Fire, water and earth. So this body which is the product of, or which is the result of the combination of these three elements, fire, water and earth, in this body. Then takes as Vava Kila. So Vava Kila iti Acharyopadesha Smrana Pradarsanarthau. Two indeclinables, Vava and Kila, is what? Smrana Pradarsanarthau, to bring to memory what the Acharya had said earlier. That by this body is a sprout. Dehena Shungena, body is a sprout. Then what's the cause of that? Earth is the cause of that. Annam. Anna is a sprout. Water is the cause. Water is a sprout. Fire is the cause. Fire is a sprout. Sat is the cause. This was said earlier. So Vava Kila, these two particles are meant to bring to memory what the teacher had already taught earlier. Sat, what is that? So, Tejo Vannadi Shunga Karanam Sat. Because the material cause is always present where the effect is. That's the rule. Of the two causes, the material cause and the efficient cause stands separate from the effect. Like the pot maker stands separate from the pot. But clay, which is the material cause, is very much present where the effect is. So similarly, Sat is the material cause of this whole universe, made up of the combination of three elements, of which body also is a part. So body is the product of the combination of three elements. But these three elements, fire, water, themselves are the product of Sat, or existence, which is the material cause. Therefore, the material cause must be present where the effect is. Therefore, the Sat must be very much present in this body, everywhere in the Jagat. You don't see. In this case, you don't perceive. You can't visualize with a sense of perception with the mind also. And so, Tejo Bannadi Shunga Karanam Sat. So the existence is Karanam, the cause of the three elements, fire, water and earth. Vata bija animavat vidyamanameva. So just as in that grain from the fruit of the banyan tree, that seed of the cause of the banyan tree was very much present there. So when the son was asked to split that grain, and asked us now, then asked, what do you see? I do not see anything. So even though he could not see anything, the very root or the cause of the tree, banyan tree, was very much present there. Otherwise, the tree could not have come out. Utpannasan, tishtati. So, vata bija animavat, just the subtleness of the tree, which is very much present in the grain of the seed or the grain of the banyan tree, banyan fruit. Vidyamanameva indrehi na upalabhase. Just as Shvetaketu, you could not perceive that subtle essence of the banyan tree, which was very much present in that grain, split grain. Na upalabhase, na nibhalayase. Do not see, meaning you don't perceive. The Anarigis Atrava Vityajana, Atraiva Kilitasya Paundaruktam Ashankya. See, if you look at the text, Tam Hovacha Atravava Kilasat Somya Nanibhalayase. Oh, good looking one, you do not perceive that Sat here in this body. Atraiva Kila iti. So, Atraiva is very much here. So, this looks like Atravava Kilasat Somya Nanibhalayase and Atraiva Kila iti seems to be saying the same thing. So it is there very much, meaning the teacher is repeating himself, looks like it is Paundarutyam, Ashankya, Artha Vishesham Darshayati. So Bhashyakara says, when the teacher says again Atraiva, again, there is Artha Vishesham, there is also a specific meaning that is conveyed when it is said again. Yatha, so Bhashyakara says, Yatha Atraiva Udake Darshanasprashanabhya Upalabhyamanam Lavanam Vidyamanameva Jihvaya Upalabdhavanasi Evameva Atraiva Kila Vidyamanam Sata Jaganmulam Upayantarena Lavanamanivat Lavananimavat Upalapsase iti Vakyasheshaha. So Yatha Atraiva Udake. So first Atraiva is for water. Other Atraiva is for the body. So Yatha Atraiva Udake. Darshana Sparshabhyam Anupalabhyamanam. Just as in this very water, that salt, which is even though present, Anupalabhyamanam, could not be perceived by the sight and by the touch. Vidyamanameva Jihvaya Upalabdhavanasi. Upayantarana. By another means, you are able to perceive or experience the salt by Jihvaya, by your sense of taste. Evameva, in a manner similar to that, Atraiva Kila Vidyamanam Sat. Here itself, so there Atraiva was water. This Atraiva is the body. Body because it is right very much here, anywhere in the world. Atraiva Kila Vidyamanam Sat Jagan Moolam. And so Jagan Moolam, the very cause of Jagat, which is very much present here, now, which you cannot perceive, Nanibhalaya say, which Heshvedagetu, that Sat or existence, which you cannot perceive with the senses. Upayantarena, but by Upayantara, by another means, Lavana Animavata, like in water, see, formerly the salt was present as a gross lump. Now that salt is present in the water as a subtle essence. So when it becomes subtle essence, you can't see it. Similarly, Sat is a very subtle essence of the universe or the body, therefore you can't see it. But Upayantarena, Upalapsase iti, but Heshvedeketu, you will perceive it or know it by other means. Here, of course, the other means is the teaching. That other means was tasting. In case of Sat, the other means will indicate Acharyavan Purusho Veda. You can know that Sat if you are the Acharya. Iti Vakyashesha. And so, Lavana Upayantarena. So, Atraiva Kila iti. In all of that you must add Atraiva Kila Vidyamanam Sat Jagan Moolam Upayantarena Lavana Animavada Upalapsase iti. That is Vakya Shesha. If you add all of this, then that Vakya becomes complete. Otherwise, Atraiva iti. So Bhashyakara completed that sentence. That here itself is Sat, which also you will see by Upayantara, by other means. Same thing the Tikakara says, Atraiva Kailida Vakyam upayantarana upalabhasvaiti padadvadyaharana. So treva kila, the last. Upayantarana upalabhasva, that's all. So upayantarana upalapsyase or upalabhasva. May you know it with another means. Iti padadvadyaharana, adding those two words. Dushtanta purukam vyachaste. So with dushtanta, what? Lavana animavat dushtanta. So like you could see or perceive the subtleness of the salt through other means, similarly also the subtleness which is sat, you will be able to see or know through other means. The dushtanta purukam vyachas yathachayate. The next passage says, Se esha anima aitadatmavidam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi shvetaketo iti bhuya eva ma bhagavan vijñāpayatviti tatha somyeti hovacha. So, Esha Anima, Shvetaketu, this is the subtle essence. It is Atmanam Sarvam. The subtle essence is Sat, is the very Atma. This whole universe says that Sat, the subtle essence says it's Atma, as a self, as a very essence. That's Satyam. Understand that there is Sat or existence is Satyam, Abhaditam, non-negatable. Meaning that if you investigate what is the building block of this universe, not the God particle. So they call it God particle. No, because it's also a particle. You still perceive that through some means. You don't see it with the eyes, but then you infer through variety of signals that it gives rise to. No, what is that essence? Sat is the essence. And it's not there. The reason why you cannot perceive is that because you are trying to see, that Sat or Brahman, you are trying to see, experience as something different from you. But that's not so. Therefore, upayantaranam. You have to see that Sat as your own self. Now that's a different thing. And knowing something as different from you is different from knowing your own self. The whole process is different. The whole process of pursuit of that knowledge is different. And the whole method of knowing or realization is different. Therefore, altogether a different means of knowledge and a different methodology is required. Which the scientists won't do. They will keep on reducing the universe to its further building block and building block and building block is all right. But they will still want to see that the truth or Atma of the Jagat as an objective reality. So that conclusion does not go from there. Meaning that the objective world has objective reality. And therefore, that is what they want to see. But Vedanta says that the reality of the objective world is you, the observer. And therefore, instead of now looking there, you start looking at yourself. Pratibodha Veditam Matam. If you want to know the reality of Bodham Bodham Prati, if you want to know the reality of a thought, of a cognition arising in your mind, it is not there. That thought becomes a gateway. The cognition becomes a gateway of bringing you back to yourself. So Vedanta all the time wants us to come back to ourselves. In search of knowledge, you are looking at the universe. To know the universe, know yourself. You are searching for love in the universe, love yourself. You are trying to attain something, attain yourself. Tat Satyam. That Sat, even though it is Tat Sat, so looks like that Sat. Therefore, this equation is complete only with Tat Tvamasi. Tat Sat Tvamasi. What is thought to be Tat? Tat means remote. So Sat or existence is habitually taken to be remote from us, different from us. It is just by our samskara. That's the basic vasana. Basic tendency is to take for granted that Brahman or God is different from me and not here, someplace else. He is remote, not within the range of my perception or experience. Meaning that whatever I perceive or experience is not Brahman. So, this is the remoteness. The self I know, but as parichinna, as a limited entity. So, Brahman I know parokshataya as something remote from me. Atma, the self, I know as myself, as a parokshataya, as an immediate self, but then parichinnam, I know it as a limited entity. So two conclusions are there. Parokshata and paricheda or parichinnata. So this one statement, Tattvamasi, knocks off both of these. Tat is Tvam. So Tat is no more Paroksha. And Tvam is Tat, meaning you are not limited. So we know that Tat is limitless, but it is remote. Tvam is immediate, but it is limited. So what is remote is said to be you. So limitless is you. So you are the Paroksha, immediate self, is limitless. So Tat Satyam, Sa Atma, Tattvamasi, Shvetaketo. So whole Vakya Vritti on this statement, Tattvamasi. And then Laghu Vakya Vritti, and so forth. Vakya means Mahavakya. Vritti means an explanation. So what 54 verses were there, I think, in that text, Vakya Vritti. Bhueva Ma Bhagavan. So Shvetaketu keeps on presenting different doubts, which may not be his doubts. So Shruti presents this whole subsequent discussion as Mananam. So Shravan is complete by Tattvamasi first time. And that raises variety of doubts. Based on our own conclusions in duality, our own experiences in duality, or based on a variety of conclusions that other thinkers have drawn, such as the self dies with the death of the body. So, that's Martyatvadina, that's what they say. So, like people say, Nayayikas say that the effect is not present in the cause. So, therefore the question is, the effect was present there, how come you don't experience it, etc. So, these questions arose on account of the doubts which come on account of our own experience or doubts which arise on account of the conclusions by other thinkers. So then when Shvetaketu says, Bhuyo Ma Bhagavan Vijñāpayatu iti, the Venerable Sir may please explain to me again with illustration. So what does he mean? Bhashyakar now has to always reveal what was intended by Shvetaketu when he asked that question. So next passage says then, Sa ityadi samanam. So Sa esha animayata is all the same as before. So the Tikakara said that nothing new is being said when the sentence is repeated every time. Then explaining Bhuyavati, Upayantar Jignasaya Pruchati. Jignasa with the desire to know, Upayantaram, with a desire to know another means, pruchati, the question is asked here, yatha iti bhashyakara says, or no, yadi evam iti. Yadi evam lavana animavat indriyahi anupalabhyamanapi jaganmulam sat upayantarena उपलब्धुम शक्यते यत् उपलम्भात् कृतार्थस्याम् अनुपलम्भाच्च अकृतार्थस्यामहम् तस्यैव उपलब्धौ क उपायेति एतत् भूय एव मा भगवान् विज्ञापयतु दृष्टान्तेन तथा सौम्येति होवाच यदि एवं लवण अणिमवत इंद्रियहि अनुपलभ्यमानपि, like the subtleness or subtle essence of the salt, in which form? So formerly salt was present as a gross lump. Now the salt is present in water as a subtle essence. Therefore you can't see it. And so indriyahi anupalabhyama, indriyahi means what? Chakshu sparshabhyam, by the two indriyas, chakshu and sparshanam. So anupalabhyamanapi, all right, lavanam eva, lavana animavat. So then the drashtan is over there. Then, see me coming to the darshtan, the sat, indriyehi anupalabhyamanapi jagan moolam sat. So jagat, the root of the jagat, which is sat, which is very much present here in this body, indriyehi anupalabhyamanapi. It is not perceptible with sense organs. Jagan moolam sat. Upayantarena upalabdhum shakyate. So just as the presence of a salt could be verified with other means of knowledge such as taste, here also or could be known. Similarly, sat also can be known upayantarena by another means of knowledge. So Anandagiri says, okay, tarhi tada iti adhyavrutasya tasya ityadana sambandha. Oh, then it comes later. The other Tikakara asks, Upayantarena upalabdhum shakyatvevi nishphalatve tudupayanveshanam na kartavyam. So Shvetaketu wants to know that sat through other means. What's the big deal? What's the use of that? Upalabdham shakyat. So even if sat can be known through other means, nishphalatve, what will the knowledge do to you? Suppose you know God particles, so what will happen to you? Which problem will it solve in your life? It will solve physics problems, but which problem will it solve in your life? Nothing. Similarly, even if you know Sat, nishphalatvat, because it doesn't matter to you, what does it matter? If you know Sat, then also, in what way will it help you? So, nishphalatve, to upayanveshanam na kartavyam, then why are you wasting your time? If knowing that Sat is not, it does not produce any worthwhile result or benefit to you, what's the use of wasting time with investigating as to how to know that Sat? Iti ashanka, so Bhashyakara said, yad upalambhat kurtarthasyam. By knowledge of which I'll become krutartha, I'll become fulfilled. Meaning that I will gain the real success in my life. I have a sense of fulfillment. Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyaschya bharata. Knowing which a person is krutakrutya. I have done whatever had to be done. Meaning, I have known whatever was to be known. I have achieved. So not only that, I have known whatever was to be known, meaning I have achieved whatever was to be achieved. Because knowledge is meant for achievement. I have become whatever I wanted to become. I have accomplished whatever I wanted to accomplish. All this satisfaction comes. That's called kritakrityata or krutarthatvam. Call it kritakrityata or krutarthata. That nothing, no, there is no agenda remaining in my life. That's it. No agenda remains. Because you may know what is to be known and still you may not achieve what you wanted to achieve. You achieved what you wanted to achieve, but did not experience what you wanted to experience, and things like that, So, even after, see, this is the nature of worldly achievements, that even after making those achievements, still there is always some agenda unfulfilled. But that's called fulfillment in life when no agenda, whatever remains unfulfilled. If it remains, which means that you have not yet gained liberation. That's all it means. If something still remains to be done for you, you might want to do things for others. That's a different thing. So Ishvara may place in you a sankalpa or a resolve to do something for the world. Okay. But if you think that you need to do something for yourself, then the fulfillment is not yet there. No agenda, whatever remains for the wise person, and that's what I want. So this is what a Vedantin seeks. This may not interest other people, understand. Somebody may want excitement of climbing a mountain. What do you get here? Excitement of jumping from the aeroplane, All the exciting things are there. People take huge risks to get that thrill. So what is the big deal about this? Suppose you did whatever you needed to do, then what? Still, you don't get any thrill. But that also you wanted to get, that thrill. So whatever the thrill gives you also is achieved. Otherwise, after that also that still remains. I still want to see Egypt. And I want to see Bali. You may as well see different thing. But I want to see. Without that I am incomplete. Now that means some agenda remains. No such agenda remains. Meaning that na indatasya krutenartha na krutena kasyana nachas sarvabhuteshu kaschid vyapashraya. This wise person is not dependent upon anything in the whole universe for his satisfaction, for his happiness, for his security. He may be dependent as far as food is concerned, but he doesn't think he is dependent. The food will come to him. As Lord Krishna says, that apuryamanam achala pradishtam, how the rivers bring the water themselves to the ocean. Ocean doesn't need to invite them. Tadvat kamahayam pravishanti sarve. Similarly also, all the desirable objects come to him. Not that they are desirable anymore. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogat. All the desires have gone. That food must come to me, this must come to me, that, no such thing. But now he is in a position where yoga kshemam vahamyam. Lord Krishna, I take care of the yoga and kshema. Now that he has become Lord's worry. Become the worry or anxiety for the Lord. Now how to take care of this fellow? Because he has completely given himself up to me, so what should I do now? So, Lord also feels obligated. And therefore, a wise person does not have any desire. If things are required, they will happen. On his part, there is no effort to make anything happen for himself. He may dedicate himself for the world, for Ishvara. Prarabdhaya samarpitam svavapuhu. He has now dedicated his vapuhu, his body, to prarabdha, to destiny. So destiny decides what he does not decide. That's all Krutarthata. Etad buddhva buddhiman Krutakrutyasya bharata. Even Krutakritya, Krutartha. So, yat upalambhat Krutarthasyam, by knowledge of which I become completely fulfilled, free from all agenda, free from all needs. Desires means needs. Wise person is free from all needs. Yat anupalambhacha akrutarthasyamaham. You don't have to become akrut, you already are akrutartha. By not knowing which I remain unfulfilled, that I am right now. And so, the only thing is, yat jnatva ne bhuyonyat jnatavyam avasishyate. Knowing which, nothing remains to be known, nothing remains to be done, nothing remains to be achieved. So that was the pratigna, the proposition in the beginning of this Upanishad. Yena ashrutam shrutam bhavati amatam matam avijñātam vijñātam iti. So that was the pratigna. By listening to which everything is as well listened, by deliberating of which everything is as well deliberated, by knowing which everything is as well known. Otherwise, akrutartha. If I do not know this, then things will remain to be known for me. Means things will remain to be achieved for me. So Shvetika is very clear about why he wants this. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanamesha varastrutiyah. Etad vidyam, I want to know this, Nachiketa says. All right, go and ask somewhere. Anushishtastvayaham. Leaves no option for Yamaraja, Anushishtastvayaham. I want to be taught by you. Please tell me whether is there an Atma other than the body? If there is, then what's its nature? And so, therefore, this is the pratigna, that knowing which nothing remains to be known, nothing remains to be achieved, nothing remains to be desired. And therefore, what is it? Kimichan kasya kamaya shairam anusanjvaret. Kimichan, desiring what? Kasya kamaya, for which desirer? Shairam anusanjvaret. I should suffer after this body. So, I am asmiti purusha, that's all. That Brahman, I am Brahman, when that knowledge is gained. Anupalambhacha akruthartasyamaham tasyeva upalabdho ka upaya iti. Therefore, tasya upalabdho, for upalabdhi, for perception, here for immediate knowledge. What's the upaya? What's the means for the perception or the knowledge or realization of that sat? Iti etad bhuyeva ma bhagavan vijñāpayatu drishtantena. The Venerable Sir may please make me know this by another illustration. Tatha somyati hovacha. May it be so, my son, may it be. So that's how this section is complete here. We'll conclude here today and then start from the next section. Here, these footnotes keep on coming, but then we don't know what their Siddhanta is, so it's difficult to follow these footnotes. Chaturdasha khande jivasya asvatantram iritam. Now that's in the next one anyway. So, iti madhvacharya. Ido prakrut anupayuktam. So, jiva asvatantram iritam. Okay. So, jiva is dependent. Puram uttatamadesham aprakshayati upadeshe gamyam brahmadi uktehe. Uttatamadesham aprakshayati. Father asked, did you ask for that? The knowledge of that truth? Iti upadesha ekagamyam. So by that, Father implied that that truth is something which can be known only through upadesha, by instruction of the teacher. Upadesha ekagamyam brahma. And so, it is the Upanishadam Purusham. Meaning, Upanishad Ekagamyam. The truth is that which can be known only through Upanishad and through also Upadesha. Not only Upanishad, but Upadesha Ekagamyam. Brahmana Suchitam. Tadevatra Vistarena Vaktum Sadushtantena Upagamyatvam Brute iti Vishesha. So, Dushtantena, by another Dushtanta will be given. So, Upadesha Gamyatvam, how Brahman can be known only through Upadesha, is what the Dushtanta by illustration will say. Or the footnote on the page 276, Jive Sthita, I think we saw that. Yeah. Jive Sthita Puthagna Dushyata Harihi, so that we already saw. Alright. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Now this is the last class, Chillo class ya. Kale to tomorrow at 7 o'clock will meet, 7 vage Durga Saptashtati no पाठ thase kale savare.
मनोबुद्ध्यहंकार चित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशः न वा पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः।
รูปะ शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः 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 शिवोऽ
न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपः विभुर्व्याप्य सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम्